Morning Majlis, talking the stories that are shaping headlines. This is Pulse 95.
Yes, this is Pulse 95. Welcome back on to the Morning Majlis, and we're going to be taking you through all the new protocols and rules that have been announced by Abu Dhabi, and it's all about entry to Abu Dhabi public places for COVID vaccinated people or non-vaccinated people. What are the procedures there? We're going to talk about as well entry for travelers as well to Abu Dhabi, because that has been also adjusted, and also for people who have come into contact with COVID-19 patients or infected individuals. So also the quarantine for people who have come in contact with them also have been adjusted, the quarantine procedure and the protocols. So we're going to start talking about entry to Abu Dhabi public places. So basically now they're asking for a booster dose. It must be taken 6 months after receiving the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine in order to maintain the vaccinated status on Al Husn app. That is according to the authorities in Abu Dhabi. And a grace period of 30 days, it will be given to those who have taken their second dose more than 6 months ago. That is before their status will turn gray on September 20th. Now, participants in vaccine trials are exempt from needing a booster dose. So the update comes as the Abu Dhabi Emergency Crisis and Disasters Committee yesterday confirmed the entry process for public places. It will be limited to only vaccinated citizens, residents, and also tourists, effective from August 20th. And the approved process also allows entry for those vaccinated with green status on Al Husn app only, which appears after a negative PCR test result, and it will remain for 30 days. So entry is also allowed for those exempted from the vaccination with the green status on their Al Husn app, which shall appear after a negative PCR test result, and it will remain for 7 days as well. When it comes to children under the age of 16, whose status will appear as green on Al Husn app without the requirement of a test, they will also be allowed entry as well. And now, as for unvaccinated individuals and those with gray status on Al Husn app, which reflects an expired PCR test, they are prohibited from entering any public places.
It's amazing to see what's been happening with the COVID restrictions. I'm going through my Al Husn app and looking at it with a thicker lens, let's say. And I thought, okay, I landed last week from my trip abroad, and I did not do anything with Al Husn, but it already knows that I landed 9 days ago.
Nice. Yeah.
I did not expect the Al Husn app to know. I was going to be cheeky.
You came through the smart gate.
I went through the smart gate.
There
it's all interconnected.
Yeah.
It's all interconnected. So they know exactly when I came down, and I did take a booster jab. In fact, just before the start of the long weekend.
Was it Pfizer?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And I've got it on my app now, and it appeared straight away, which is very, very good. So that makes me feel a little bit better. Yeah, so at the moment, the Al Husn remains green, and this is amazing in terms of how advanced Al Husn has become, because earlier, when we first started, people getting used to it, verifying you with your picture, but now it gives you all the details, your passport number, Emirates ID, when you landed, how long ago you did a PCR test. Just incredible in terms of the offers that they've got. So that is the requirement. But what really is interesting, that the rule that says that from Friday that you cannot go to a gym, you cannot go to a theme park, you cannot go to a health club without being vaccinated, yeah. And this is just urging people, encouraging them to get vaccinated. And it's a very, very good move, because we can see that in France. People are a bit disappointed about it. Mm-hmm. But just stay with this.
They were protesting. Before we actually go, I want to also go through the travel procedures. It's the updated travel procedures that they announced yesterday as well from Abu Dhabi. They're saying that UAE citizens and residents, as well as visitors, can enter Abu Dhabi from abroad effective from today. Those who are vaccinated, unvaccinated visitors from green list and non-green list destinations, they can travel to Abu Dhabi. The quarantine period for those unvaccinated passengers it has been also reduced. Now, in the previous update on July 5th, there was no mention about visitors, but till date, only UAE citizens and residents and those who are eligible for a visa on arrival could enter Abu Dhabi. Now, there's no change in the precautionary norms to be followed for vaccinated passengers other than the addition of visitors. The quarantine rules have been relaxed for the unvaccinated individuals arriving from non-green list countries. This is the newest guidelines that have been issued as well for the travelers abroad. And also the authorities in Abu Dhabi, they have also updated the home quarantine guidelines for those in contact with the COVID-19 positive case. So effective from today as well, those vaccinated, they must quarantine for 7 days and take a PCR test on day 6. If the PCR test result is negative, they can remove the wristband and end quarantine on day 7. And those who are not vaccinated must quarantine for 10 days and take a PCR test on day 9. If the PCR test is negative, they can remove the wristband and end quarantine on day 10. And those are, we're talking about the people who have come into contact with COVID-19 positive cases.
Well, that's
in Abu Dhabi.
That's your latest in terms of the COVID measures. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We'll be returning very, very shortly, and this time we'll talk to you about the Independence Day of both Pakistan and India. You're listening to the Morning Majlis only on Pulse 95.
Join the conversation with the Morning Majlis. Pulse 95.
Oh, shout out to our listeners from India and Pakistan. Lots of you have been texting in 4215, sharing your thoughts and sentiments about the significance of the National Day. It is the 75th Independence Day for all of you. And yesterday was Pakistan celebrating in great fashion and great style. And now it is time for India to be celebrating their Independence Day. And already we've had some wonderful statements coming from people abroad as well.
Yeah, Joe Biden actually did also laud that day. He congratulated India as it celebrates the 75th year of its independence and lauded the biggest democracy in the world, really. And he said that on this day, August 15th, 1947, India achieved its long journey toward independence. It is guided by Mahatma Gandhi's message of truth and nonviolence. So today, that foundational commitment to respecting the will of the people through democracy continues to inspire the world and is the basis of the special bond between our two nations. And those were the words of Joe Biden in a statement congratulating India for its 75th Independence Day. And of course, on this day, India finally gained independence from the British colonizers. And this day serves as a reminder of the struggle for independence, and it commemorates the valor of freedom fighters who laid down their lives for the nation. And of course, on this day, back in 1947, the first Prime Minister of independent India, Jawaharlal Nehru, actually hoisted the national flag at the Lahore Gate of Red Fort in New Delhi. Now, when it comes to celebrating Independence Day, it's usually celebrated with cultural programs, flag hoisting ceremonies, singing of the national anthem, and various other competitions in India. But this year, however, the celebrations, they will be restricted due to the COVID-19 pandemic, sadly.
Yeah, it is, and the country is obviously conducting their own celebrations. They've got plans of having some celebrations at a multi-layered security arrangements at the Red Fort in India for the Independence Day, and they're
not going to go all out and about.
They can't, and the Prime Minister, Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi, will be addressing the public as well again this time round, and we are expecting it to be a very, very busy day in India. It is going to be observed here in Dubai and in Abu Dhabi with the Indian Embassy and the Indian Consulate. People will be taking part in it today, and we will be giving you some live updates in terms of as they do happen, because we are expecting lots of people to be attending those as well. Well, it is a very important day for both of them, and we've been encouraging you to share your thoughts and messages on the text lines 4215 to share your thoughts about the Independence Day. And lots of people have been coming back saying they're very proud of their country and proud of what they've been achieving so far. Looking at Pakistan's celebration yesterday, it was a variety of events that took place. Once at the consulate, one at the embassy, and then we've had multiple society-level events that took place. Yesterday, we saw the Burj Khalifa also being decorated in the flag's colours. And one thing is that a Pakistan Association yesterday is an event which I went down to yesterday, and they are offering medical tests as a celebration. They're saying, because they operate a Pakistan Medical Center, low cost medical clinic, which is amazing that because it's open to all nationalities. Anyone can go and register and speak to a doctor.
Nice.
They're doing 47 different tests.
Wow.
For the price of only 75 dirhams. So you have a package which also looks at screening your diabetes, your uric acid, total cholesterol, lipid profile,
Nice.
and vitamin D screening as well. All of it for a price of 75 dirhams. Because if you think about it, the original price of getting all these tests done, including a free GP, is at least 1,200 dirhams.
Without insurance.
Without insurance. And
Right.
now today, for that Independence Day package until the 20th of August, they're offering these tests for only 75 dirhams.
That's incredible.
So if you're looking at probably getting something done, check up, maybe do it and celebrate the country's Independence Day. Maybe they'll give you some sweets as well after that. So always ideal. Well, shout out to all of you. We're accepting text messages throughout the day, 4215, for you to celebrate your country's Independence Day. We'll be back, in fact, guys, right after the business headlines. So do stay tuned to Pulse 95, and we'll continue the discussions from there on. Once again, if you'd like to share your messages for the Independence Day, you can do so on the text number 4215.
Pulse 95. Between local lines. Notes from the Emirate.
We're talking about honoring Sharjah youth and youth in general, because the UAE actually celebrated the spirit of youth on International Youth Day that is marked annually on August 12th. So now we have the Sharjah-based cultural initiative. It's called Knowledge Without Borders. It has launched a literary initiative to enrich youth councils nationwide. So this key initiative, it supports the UAE's national literary or literacy strategy, and it will entail the Knowledge Without Borders sourcing knowledge-rich and diverse libraries to youth councils across the 7 Emirates in order to instill a lifelong love of intellectual pursuits in the nation's youth, and also boost the culture of reading and also learning in the UAE as well. So basically, the Knowledge Without Borders, they announced the book drive at a youth seminar. It's titled Youth's Cultural Aspirations, which is the entity organized in cooperation with the Federal Youth Authority on August 11th. In fact, so this was a very important initiative, and it was beautiful as well. And another initiative as well that we want to talk about is here in the also another initiative, Sharjah Youth. We're going to be talking about a virtual celebration titled Youth Day. It was hosted by Sharjah Youth under Rubu' Al-Qarn Foundation for Creating Future Leaders and Innovators in conjunction with the International Youth Day. And the celebration, it was actually hosted by 2 astonishing Sharjah Youth participants, Mahmoud Liblushi and Abdullah Al-Shamsi, and also the opening national anthem was delivered by the talented Sharjah Youth Orchestra team as well.
Sharjah Youth, they are thriving to be the hand that provides the necessary support to the young ones by embracing young talents and creating an environment that helps in shaping future generations. That's according to a statement released by Umar Al-Midfa, who is the Support Services Department Manager in Sharjah Youth during this celebration. And Omar also expressed his deepest gratitude to His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, member of the Supreme Council and ruler of Sharjah, and Her Highness Sheikh Jawahir Al Qasimi, chairperson of the Rubu' Qaran Foundation, for creating future leaders and innovators, for the continued support that have led to the great achievements and development that they witnessed from the young generations today. Now, during the celebrations, a video was screened to the audience, and it was showcasing the significant youth's achievements on the regional and national levels during the year 2020 and 2021. Sharjah youth graduates have had the chance to inspire their peers with their stories and share with them their fruitful experience. One of the graduates was Ali Darwish, who has talked about his experience and how he transformed from someone who was very shy and scared of talking to others to someone who participates in local and international events to share his opinion and solve global problems. Ali's motivation to challenge himself and develop on personal and social levels led him to several events in the United States, including the Ambassadors of Knowledge program way back in 2017, as well as Our Ambassadors initiative under the Ministry of Education way back in 2018.
Yeah, another Sharjah youth graduate has also shared his inspirational story with the audience. His name is Ahmed Lamtawa, and one of the inspirational messages that he gave is that you should work toward the change you want to see, because once you set your mind into something, you can do it. And he also talked about his passions and hobbies and how he balanced between doing multiple tasks in diverse fields like technology, robotics, history, and also entrepreneurship. And he actually created a one-of-a-kind museum that combines history, arts, and technology to raise cultural awareness and invest in the hobby that he loves. And he also won the first place in the National Robotics Championship back in 2017, and Sheikh Sultan Award for celebrating the youth of the spirit of the youth, actually, in 2019 as well. So it's great to see the young talent and young people coming together and sharing their experiences and their success stories with all of us. And just talking more about Sharjah Youth, the foundation itself, it's affiliated with the Rubu' Qaran Foundation for creating leaders and innovators. It's an organization that focuses on creativity, innovation, early detection of the talents of young people that are between the ages of 13 and 18 years old.
Yes, of course. That is the big development and big news as well for the celebrations of the International Youth Day, which took place on the 12th of August this year. And the young ones have certainly been, it's very important that the young teenage years, that the detection of their talent is made possible, and it's only made possible through such groups, the youth groups indeed. Stay with us on the Morning Majlis. We've got a musical entertainment for you, and then we'll be back again right after the sports headlines here on the Morning Majlis.
Social Media Minute. Today's clickbait worth talking about.
Social Media Minute.
Well, Sharjah is definitely becoming a booming art and culture hub of the Middle East. It's not only known for its amazing, dainty, cool cafes, but it's also known for its picturesque islands and parks and locations, hidden gems, let's just say. So if you're planning to visit Sharjah anytime soon, and if you don't live in Sharjah, there are so many Instagrammable spots in Sharjah that should be on your list. And those spots will not just only help you up your Insta game, but it will also give you tons of memories through pictures. And one new, actually discovered breakfast in the clouds spot, all right, it's actually closer than you think. We just discovered a new picturesque location here in Sharjah. And where is it, Abdul Karim, apparently?
It's not that far at all. This is going to be, it's a part of a development project. It's still under construction. It's a development project in Kalba by His Highness Sheikh Dr. Sultan bin Mohammed Al Qasimi, Supreme Council member and ruler of Sharjah. It is located in Wadi Helu. a lot of people know about the Suhub rest house.
Yes.
Which translates as cloud rest house. This is going to be another one, this time 1,000 meters above sea level. Trying to compare it to Suhub rest house. Suhub stands at 583 meters above sea level. Still gives you picturesque views. Now let's double that height. And it's going to be the cloud. This is going to be the book rest house. And this is going to be amazing because a lot of people would be they would love the winters, because the winter is fast approaching, guys. I know it's hot outside. Sometimes it gets unbearable, but looking on the bright side, things are beginning to cool down, which is good news. And we'll be back in good weather eventually. So this social media post was posted by the UAE's Weather Bureau, the storm_AE Instagram page, and it looks amazing. It just looks like a place we need to
I'm
sit
looking
down.
at the video as we speak. So it's, wow, this is amazing. It offers a jaw-dropping view of nature that will definitely want you to pack your bags and go trekking pronto. So basically in this video, you can see that the sun, it can be seen coming up over the clouds, or sort of over the mountains, with a bunch of clouds right at eye level. And then you can see a great breakfast spread has been laid out on the mountain atop a large red rug with multiple cushions for seating comfort. I'm just looking at the clouds and the sun, how it's aligned, and with the in the video, and how it's shot in the video. It's amazing. It's definitely a picture perfect location, and it's none other than in Wadi Hulu in Sharjah. I'm looking at the video, and in 3 hours since it was posted, the video has already gathered over 10,000 likes in the first 3 hours only.
Yep, it's not a clickbait. It's something that's like a little bit of a teaser for people to expect.
And it's part of a development project in Kalba.
True, it is. And so much to look forward to indeed. Well, guys, do let us know if you've got any other picturesque locations that you are fond of and would like to highlight it as your little hidden gem.
Noor Island.
Oh, yes, of course.
Very picturesque.
It definitely is. Expecting a lot of people to send us their text messages this morning. But for the time being, the Morning Majlis will be heading off. We'll let you enjoy the musical entertainment as we conclude the program here. The Majlis shall return bright and early tomorrow morning. It will be the duo once again, and we appreciate your thoughts coming through this morning. If you'd like to catch the discussions as a podcast, where can they do that?
Yes, you can head on to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and SoundCloud for the audio experience, and for the visual experience, we'll be uploading as well on YouTube right after the show. Inshallah, just type in Pulse 95 Radio in the search bar and look for the Morning Majlis playlist. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like our YouTube channel.
We'll see you again tomorrow morning, bright and early. This was the Morning Majlis, only on Pulse 95.
If you liked this episode of The Morning Majlis, drop a like and subscribe.
95.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram for all our daily updates and top stories.
Pulse.